the internet. You're busy. Let's do this. Welcome to the Game S Decides podcast. This is the podcast where we decide everything about the world of games so you never have to think for yourself. I'm your host, Jeff Grubb, and with me is... Christian de la Argentina. He's here, everybody.
Like Cher.
It's going to be, yeah, like Cher, of course. Yeah, that's, I've always thought that. Just Christian like Cher.
Thank you.
Christian, you're standing in. You're helping out tonight, more so than usual. Mikey had to run off, take care of something. So it's probably gonna be a little bit of a brief episode tonight. We were talking beforehand, anyhow, Christian. Like we were looking. I'll just do in today's episode. Spoon Heaven is real. Metroid Prime 4 Hopium. Final Fantasy 14 on Switch 2. Despite Gamescom happening this week, I still kind of feel like there's not a ton to talk about. I mean, I'll talk to you about Evo. You can kind of tell me like your feelings about that. I am interested to hear that. But, you know, with Mike out and us kind of getting caught off guard there at the last second for that, let's just kind of talk about what we want to talk about, do the super chats, and get out of here. But with all that said, how are you doing?
I'm doing fine. I'm doing well. Yeah, kind of bummed out about that Evo news now. I don't know. Well, we'll talk about it later. But yeah, a little bit bummed out about the Evo news and a little bit happy for other gaming stuff, that other game like updates for all games that I want to talk about afterward.
All right, well let's just get into it then. Thank you everybody for joining us. You can give us a good rating wherever you are listening and hit that like button on YouTube. It helps people find the show. If you want to ask a question, you could do so. Drop a super chat here during the program. We'll get to all of them before the end. That works here on YouTube. Thank you to Carlos Ayin, who is Insane in the Rain Music on YouTube, for the use of our theme songs. We are on Spotify, Apple Podcast, and wherever pods are caught. Thank you to the mods. Thank you to Christian for producing and co-hosting. And you can get more from Mike and me and support us by going to patreon.com/GameMess. That gets you access to our Discord server, participation in Q&A sessions, and our Game Club discussions, early access to new episodes of shows like Columbros, and of course, all of our shows ad-free. That's patreon.com/GameMess. Friendly reminder, you can also become a supporter by becoming a YouTube member or a Twitch subscriber. The YouTube membership button is that join button here on YouTube. And of course, if Mike is streaming, Christian's streaming, or I'm streaming, you go to our channels and subscribe there. Use your Amazon Prime stuff, whatever. You'll get all the same benefits. We try to make it easy over here. All right, big topics. Let's get into it. Oh, Cookie is crying her head off. She must have got locked in the basement. Let's do this. SILKSONG finally launches in September. Details are it's out September 4th, right? Is that September 4th?
Yes.
So we're talking 2 weeks from now. Are you surprised it's that soon? I mean, it really couldn't have been that long, right? Because we are reaching the end of the year, and this thing has been in development for a very long time. But still, I know part of me is like, man, only 2 weeks and it's going to be here.
Yeah, it's crazy. Also, it's crazy. It's in 2 weeks because first of all, you could have just do it now. What's stopping you to either from doing it now or from like releasing this trailer in 2 weeks and drop it like them?
Yeah, I do want so I think one of the things they said is there won't be early review copies because they said it wouldn't be fair to the Kickstarter backers. The Kickstarter backers are going to get it before everyone else. It's like, yeah, like you could see how that works in if you were to like give people early access and the page or the Kickstarter backers got that would be a different story. I think, in that case, making everyone kind of wait for 1.0 and letting reviewers play it at that point, you could maybe get away with that. But if they haven't played anything and they were supposed to be the first people to get it, yeah, Kickstarter backers first. I wonder, I haven't looked, are they going to start getting it like before everyone else, or do they get it that same day and then everyone can go buy it that same day? I'm going to guess that's probably how it's going to work, but I don't know.
It has to be the same day, isn't it? I don't know what.
Yeah.
Did they release anything for the like Kickstarter people they were like, hey, you're gonna get it like a couple hours earlier, or
like
that.
Maybe maybe it'll be something like that. But you're probably right. They don't want this to be something where it's like, I don't know, Kickstarter. All the Kickstarters backers get it, and then it starts getting cracked and leaked or whatever. Yeah, we'll see. I'm excited for folks. I have famously not really played Hollow Knight. I mean, I've started a couple times. I don't have anything against it. I just have not been hooked on it yet. I will probably use this as an excuse to play some more of that first game. Although I'm wondering if I should just skip to the second one and try to play it alongside everybody else. That probably makes sense at this point, but I don't know for sure. Do you have any history with Hollow Knight?
I tried to play the first one a couple times and just didn't got into it. I just don't buy with the game, you know. It's just I don't buy with the art style and that kind of stuff.
Are you a Metroidvania guy in general?
A little bit, yeah. I like Metroid and Castlevania. So yeah, I like those old Castlevania and the DS Castlevanias. I talk about Order of Ecclesia all the time. You know, I like those. But other than that, I'm like kind of out of the loop of the modern Metroidvanias. You know, more like the old ones.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I don't everyone, no one tell Mike, but Christian, I think I agree with you. I don't love the way Hollow Knight looks. I just don't. I don't think it's bad. I just don't vibe with it. I don't vibe with it. Is that like that's okay to say, right? I mean, I know Mike would still get mad, but I think that's mostly okay.
I'm editing this out.
I'm terrified. Yeah, don't say anything, please, everybody.
People try to say it's ugly. It's not ugly. It's just a different, you know. It's an art style, and you either buy with the art style or you don't.
Yeah, I think it's what it is. Like I think it is clearly quality in terms of what they're going for. Just what they're going for doesn't necessarily speak to me. But that I know that I could get over that, and I probably would get over the hump there if I give it the time and sort of have the exposure to it and get into the style. I do think like its atmosphere is really well done and things like that. It's just, you know, looking at the character designs on a static screenshot is usually where I'm like, I don't know if I love this. So either way, people are excited. It was a long time coming.
But for the Spoonhead freaks out there and everybody who hasn't the fantasy critic, they should be celebrating.
They should be celebrating.
Also the whole the article about hey, we're just happily making this video game. No drama here. And it's like, okay, you could have just said something about it, you know, all these years.
I don't agree with that. I've seen a lot of that of like people are like, no, it's bad communication not to say anything, and I just. At this point, when has that ever gone well for a studio to be like, we're going to be over communicative and we're going to give people enough, because you can never give them enough until the game is out. And then if you try to give them enough and then you say something that changes later, they'll never let you fucking forget it. So
it's a lose-lose situation. Yeah.
Yeah. I think in this case, for a game that's like a direct follow-up to a game that you know what it is and you kind of know what this game's gonna be, the only way to really talk about it is the game is out in 2 weeks. I think they made the right choice, but I get people being a little antsy. Put it that way,
yeah. But also, like, you're right. Also, could you just say like, but they did say like not that long ago that they were working on it. So like, I guess your argument makes more sense now to think about it.
I mean, you need to communicate with your backers, and I guess like I get that, I understand that, but also, no, you don't. There's no law, there's no rule. I mean, I guess if someone's like are so upset that they write in and complain like you haven't said anything, I want my money back. I just give them their money back and don't say anything. I think it's if I were in their shoes, I don't know if I would have done anything different, or I probably would have done things different and would have stepped in shit or stepped on a rake and messed things up. I think this shows a lot of discipline and an understanding of like, at the end of the day, you speak through your video games, and I think history will prove them right. I think this game's going to do very well, and it will be like, yeah, we don't even really remember that 7-year wait now that we have the game. It'll feel like a flash. All right, let's just keep going here. Metroid Prime 4 has now been rated by the ESRB. You know, listen, I am huffing the hopium. The thing that we always say, and it's not always a rule, but the thing that always comes up when we talk about these ESRB ratings, and as a reminder for people around the world, ESRB is the United States' a ratings agency. It's not really an official government agency; it's an industry agency. But whatever, they, you know, I want to say KA, which is the old rating for E for everyone before E for everyone was the thing. I don't know why that was the first rating that came to my head, but the E for everyone on the box, that's them. They got the rating. They have rated the game. It's T for teen. That doesn't matter. What matters is usually when this happens, a game comes out about 6 weeks later. Not always, but a lot of the time. So that could put it at, late October, early October, maybe early November. Obviously we're going to go have a little bit of a radius there. I'm hopeful for that exact time frame. And I think it makes sense if you look at and we like kind of went through this on the on Game S Mornings today, where I was trying to figure out exactly like what games they had coming. Pokemon in the middle of October, like dead in the middle of October, and then Kirby Air Riders November 20th.
November.
I think you put a Metroid like November 5th or whatever, like what before November 6th, something like that. That sounds pretty plausible to me, and I'm like, I think that might be the case. What do you think?
Oh, I hope that is the case, because I mean, now the SILKSON's coming out, and we come in. Now it's our time to shine.
Exactly.
Into the Hopium realm, brother. So yeah, I hope it comes out, because I've been waiting for this game for a while.
Yep.
And I like Metro Prime, and this one looks so good. And I wonder, yeah, it's just because they're not gonna push it beyond November. It's not gonna. There's no way it's like a December game. That's never happening. So I think November sounds right, and it should be November. So yeah. Yep. Very excited.
I think, December is a possibility still, because again, 6 weeks is no rule. But to me, like when I start thinking through it, and my thinking through it is not always perfect either. But when I start thinking through it, I'm like, you know what? Not Age of Calamity, not Age of Heroes. I forget what the Hyrule Warriors game is called.
Imprisonment.
Age of Imprisonment. Thank you. That sounds like the December game to me. I think that's like a safe December Nintendo game. Just one more game, right as the kind of game that maybe like you hope is the last minute gift, or the game that people buy for themselves because it has Zelda in it, that sort of thing. Yeah, that's the kind of game you put out in December. So maybe that's just me also. So that's definitely me still having Hopium, because I want to play Metroid sooner rather than later. But I like the sound of it, so we'll see.
Let's go.
And then Final Fantasy XIV dev on Switch 2 version says there's been positive discussions with Nintendo. That's really the whole story here. Is that he's like, yeah, we talked about it. He was like willing to go. Yoshi P, was willing to go out there and just say, I'm going to say it. There have been positive discussions with Nintendo. To answer your question, we've had those discussions. I would like this. So to me, that says like he's got other stuff that is a bigger priority. They probably only have recently been given the capacity to make something for the Switch 2 with Switch 2 dev kits. So they are probably like seeing what is possible, what Nintendo's appetite is for helping them figure out like giving this game the best chance to work on a Switch 2, because it's a little bit different than the kind of game that most people play on a Switch 2. That doesn't mean it couldn't work. Of course it could. But yeah, I think this is them just going like, yeah, we have this idea. We agreed that this would be good. And there's no reason Final Fantasy XIV, as long as the tech all works, which it should, it's an older game, wouldn't be a success on Switch 2, right, Christian?
Yeah, this game ran in PlayStation 3. So it doesn't anymore. But like this game came out in PlayStation 3, and it runs on like the Steam Deck and all the stuff. So it's just I can't think of another like MMO more suitable for the Switch 2, I don't see like WoW or like any of all of this like the Doom Awakening. Those games like, but Final Fantasy 14, you get in, you do like your daily roulettes, your weekly roulettes, whatever. It's just they're on the go. Sometimes if you're in Japan, because they had that nice internet everywhere all around them. So yeah, it sounds cool. I hope they do it sooner rather than later.
Yep. Yeah. I think this is they've already talked about Final Fantasy 16 likely coming to the Switch 2. I can't remember if they confirmed that or not. Final Fantasy 7 Integrate is already confirmed. And I think or Rebirth, is Integrate already on Switch? Maybe that's already on there, but Integrate and Rebirth will be on Switch 2 at some point. So Final Fantasy, in the process of going everywhere, obviously Switch is going to be a big thing for them. And the Switch 2 now provides them plenty of technical headroom to get a lot of those games over onto Nintendo platforms. All right, the last news story that I think we're going to discuss here, Christian, if other people want to bring up other news stories in the Super Chats, we'll get to those. But Evo has been sold by Sony. Sony had shares in Evo, a stake in Evo. It has sold that off to Nodwin. I think it's Nodwin, which is an Indian esports company and entertainment company. They have also Nodwin has now partnered up with Pokemon's company. What's the name of that company? I want to say RTJ, but that's Run the Jewels. It's R&B or something.
Yes. Sorry, I had it. I read it earlier today and I already forgot, but it was like something R something.
That's the company. Okay, that's the company that
Pokimane.
that Sony had already. Yeah, RNB. Okay. RTS, is it RTS? That sounds right too. Either way, this is the company that Sony was already partnered up with to help run Evo, and they were taking care of a lot of the logistics and stuff like that. It's called RTS. Thank you.
It's RTS, yes.
Yeah. And so that company is still a part of this. In fact, I think they're more of a part of it now. Like they're even closer to Nodwin in terms of their ownership of Evo. But a lot of that comes from Saudi-backed money. That's the RTS side of the thing, and then Nodwin is the esports Indian money.
Qiddiya, I think is their Arabian company.
Qiddiya, which is part of the PIF, which is the investment fund that is basically just Saudi Aramco funding the government, and the government then funding a bunch of expansions into new markets with the idea of diversifying the Saudi Arabian economy. And so it's a bunch of essentially blood money coming into all these spaces, and that's not just fighting games. Nintendo, 8% of Nintendo is owned by basically Saudi Aramco, and SNK almost entirely owned by this stuff. This is they want to get into video games in the big way. They're diversifying into a bunch of different things, but esports has been a big push for them, kind of similar to what they do with wrestling. So this is definitely not them moving further away from that. It's more and more Saudi money. What do you think this means for Evo, for fighting games? And is there anything like the fighting game community can do about it?
I don't think we can do much about it because we need that money, and I wouldn't for the competitor size, I wouldn't never judge a competitor to when they get that money, because it's so hard. It's so hard to compete in these games and travel around. Everything is super expensive and everything. So I would never be I wouldn't ever call someone a sellout like that.
Yeah.
But it's rough because right now the eSport World Cup is happening, and the Street Fighter thing, that's also the same people who Saudi Arabia run stuff. And it used to be in the FGC. It used to be the FGC is a very welcoming community. Everybody is welcome in the community. Not everybody will be recognized somehow. And lately, what I see with the FGC is they just through sheer power of the money, they just getting recognized as this place of I don't know how to say integrity, or this is a goal to achieve, winning these tournaments.
It's admirable. Yeah, it's
these
laudatory.
people. They also do it with character. We've seen it with the Fatal Fury people, where they put this guy, and all of a sudden this guy is part of the FGC, and all good with it's all okay with Giovanni. The dude seems like a nice guy, but he wasn't here. He just showed up. They put it in a game. They put a bunch of money to just parade him around on every stage of the FGC, and he's he's one of us now. It's sure, but is he did he ever been around us for a long time? So it's rough when the money is so good. The money is so good. It's hard to tell people to listen. This is blood money. This is bad. You shouldn't grab it. And the guy is bro, I just need to eat. It's just it's tough.
And the money's a night and day difference, right? Because the money for fighting game tournaments was never real. It was never much. It was always pocket change.
In the hundreds of dollars.
Literally hundreds of dollars.
Now millions are being played. It's sad. It's sad because there's nothing we can do. It's capitalism at its best. Sorry for dropping the communist manifesto a little bit, but it's sad, and the only thing we can do is just complain about it. Maybe someone will listen. Some of these companies might be oh shit, this is bad PR, and maybe they will
yeah, maybe. I think at the very least is the fighting game community does still seem, if they're not in the driver's seat, they are still in the car, being able to have a say in what the fighting game community continues to be. And Evo, for all the fact that it's corporate owned now and has been for years, despite all that, still feels like a manifestation of that community. So I don't think it's going to lose itself all in one go or anything like that. But I do think the people the people in charge on that community side of putting the event of Evo together and making sure that it remains like community driven will have to have sort of a critical eye on the decisions being made by the corporate owners now, and we'll have to like know how to navigate that, and that's going to be challenging. But I do think that that's where you said, hey, get loud and complain, and maybe some like that's who you should be complaining to, is the people that might interface with the people who have the money. And so is that going to lead to good things? No, not necessarily, because the easiest thing is take the money, do what the people with the money say, and then go home at night to your family. I get that. And that's part of capitalism, is it kind of makes us complacent and makes every decision that much more difficult in terms of fighting back or standing up even for the things you believe in. So we'll see. I don't think that this means the next Evo is going to be some nightmare dystopian thing. But I think in the long term, this could lead to like a slippery slope of losing its character, because especially just like the esports side coming into it. Esports is such a it was a bastion for investment and venture capital bros, and they are just bad at everything, terrible taste, and you don't want them sitting at the table for something like Evo. But
and that bubble never bursted like how it should, because COVID and a bunch of other stuff, and we're still here. They're still running with it. And
you're right. They've kind of fooled themselves a little bit. They're like, it was just COVID's fault. It's like, oh, but brother, it wasn't just that at all.
Yeah, prestige is the word I was looking for.
Right. Yes.
Yeah. It's gonna be rough, but I have hope in the community still. The grassroots feeling is still there, and people still run their tournaments, and I did focus on that, and that's what I think we should do.
All right. Well, those are the big stories I wanted to talk about, Christian. Let's take a break. We'll come back, and you ready to read some super chats for the people?
Hell yeah.
All right, we'll do that right after this.
Give me top chat. Break.
Break.
The first one is for Simon from Saskatchewan.
Okay, let me bring them up so that I can read along, because it helps with me processing information.
Holy shit! You let Christian on the show for once.
Yeah, wow. I think he might have done some bad shit to Mike, and
I put a hit on him.
Yeah, he engineered all that.
He put some apple in his pasta today.
Yeah, exactly.
You're killing it, Christian. You're doing a great job.
Yeah, you're doing great.
Thank you.
Okay.
I mean, do you want to read these ones? Because I don't know. I'm pretty bad at reading English.
Yeah, I'll read it. Sure, no problem.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, no problem, dude. Okay, let's bring it back. All right, I'm ready.
All right, do it.
All right, we're back. Let's do some super chats. And since English is my first language, I know it's hard to tell. Yeah. I'll actually read them. Simon from Saskatchewan says, Jeff, is there a way to play Trespasser at 5 frames per second for only 5 minutes? That give you my experience with it. Also, your computer needs to crash every 10 minutes. I could like undervolt my GPU to like 1 watt or something. Or like, I'll see if I can come up with something. There's probably a way to do that on my current rig. Or you know what? I could try to do it on the VM that I have.
VM, yes.
I have 86 box, and I could like set like some pretty shitty hardware on that and see how that works. Let me see if I can get that up and running. I'll try. Simon's back. Can't wait for your reactions when people say Bubsy and Mortal Kombat Anthology are easy games. Road to Hell remake next. It'll include unreleased sequels, so Jeff has to play it. Jesus.
Shit, yeah, you have to. I mean, part of the blight.
I am both glad that people will have an easy way to play a lot of these games, and you're right. When someone comes to me and says Bubsy 3D is not that bad because they played the analog version, I will lose my mind. I definitely will lose my mind. I'm not looking.
Rough, yeah. I
want Daikatana to get the Night Dive version, but I'm also afraid of that because they will fix up that game quite a bit, and I need people to know how bad it is. They already don't know how bad it is because almost no one has played the real version of that game. So, yeah. Simon with his third of 4 says, Jeff, listen to Dan. Hollow Knight's incredible. I believe it. I know. And Dan is the number 1 evangelist for that game, and it gets in my ear all the time about it. So
yeah.
I'll spend some time with it soon. Simon on 404 says, does Expedition 33 play well enough on Steam Deck in your opinion? I am playing it almost exclusively on Steam Deck right now. and I do think it plays well enough. That's the way to put it. I think, you know, really the judge there, the measurement is, are you able to do the dodges and the parries? And for the most part, I'm able to do them. I bet I would be better at them on the PC with a game that's fully running at 60 frames per second. I do think I missed quite a few of them because of that, but it's not so much that it's unplayable. Also, the game is like so forgiving. If you fail a fight, just retry the fight right away. Oh my, that's like such a good feature. I love that because it makes it feel like low risk.
You though.
Oh, that's me. You didn't need to do that.
No, that's new. That's
that's
they
new.
added now.
Oh, is it really?
The fights. Yes, it's from the last patch. I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
So so how did that work beforehand? Did you have to just go back to the last save or
walk
whatever?
Your way. You had to walk your way to it.
Tell you what, that's a very good feature. I like that a lot. So very cool. It's making it very easier for me because I'll go like an hour without losing any fights, and then I'll get somewhere and be like, oh, was there a sudden bump up in difficulty? Because I've lost this fight like 3 times, and I just retry, and I just get better at the parries and the dodges, and I'll get through the fight. So it's just, I'm barreling through this game. It feels really nice.
Once you learn the patterns, it becomes pretty trivial. I play I played it like once a month a little bit, and I play it on the hardest mode. And because I know every fight, I kind of just walk through them, even if it's in like super difficult. And now they added more like difficulty settings where you can I can do like maximum damage is 5,000, that type of deal. So I'm like I'm gonna fuck around with that in the future to see how hard can I make that game, because it's hard, but it's a fun game to when it's like it gets very sweaty when you're like in the last attack and you had to either dodge and you had to do that
and you like did all this work to get all the synergies working exactly so that this next hit, if you can survive to that point, is gonna do it. But it's pretty cool.
I know parry is better because it gives me like energy back, but if I dodge, I will have an easier time not getting hit. So it's probably the best RPG ever made. I don't know. I don't want to be crazy out here.
It's really good. I mean, it learned from all of them. There's no reason it couldn't be. All right, kiddo, you just hit something on my computer. No, we're still streaming. We're okay. The cat's not breaking everything. All right, let's go to this next super chat here from Jacob Bench. Mike, have you paid attention to the Trails in the Sky remake? Everything they have shown is amazing. Any interest in it? It's only a month away. I do think Mike mentioned something about this.
Sorry, I can't do Mike.
Yeah, no, it sounded just like him. Have you ever played any of the Trails in the Sky games? I know there's like people who really love them.
I started the first one and I put like 15 hours in, and then I stopped it and never came back again. But they seem like I want to get in because all the nerds, all the weebos, they're
exactly.
Like, this is the best series ever.
Is that real, or is that like, oh, my precious little secret of a game series that no one else knows and I feel cool playing it? I know that's like such a shitty thing to say because I do that for so many things, but I get the sense that maybe there's a little bit of that going on.
That's pretty shitty to say, but I think there's a little bit,
right? Yeah,
it has to be.
There's nothing wrong with that.
It's a little thing that everybody has, they keep here.
My precious little secret. The aggregate says, are there any terrible co-op multiplayer games that would be worthy enough for a multi-person Blight Club? Oh, absolutely. Definitely. We've talked about it for sure. There's like ones that we might be saving for like PAX appearances or something like that, or but we will get around to a co-op game at some point. But it's just like these games do take weeks to months to get through, and we have a bunch of other ideas, right? We want to do more Blightning round. We want to do Blight Forever, a round of like really bad fighting games or something like that. So fitting in will be difficult, but I want to at some point. So I'm trying to think of like if there's any good examples off the top of my head of like a game that is multiplayer co-op and is just really bad.
That Metroid game for the 3DS.
You know what? I was just thinking about that today because I was looking at the Bomb 12, and one of the respondents was Metroid Federation Forces and
Federation Forces,
Federation Force, and I'm like, is that 3-player co-op? Man, that could be perfect for Blight Club. So yeah, maybe that's it. I don't know if it's that bad. Okay, Sean says it fucking blows, so maybe. All right, we'll see.
Sounds like a Black game to me.
All right, let me keep going here. From RT Bick, since Team Cherry's stream was literally just a trailer and release date, why didn't they let Keeley reveal it? It would have made him so happy. Yeah, I don't. You know what? I don't know.
Did he have to pay? Or did
they wouldn't have had to pay?
No way.
They would not have had to pay.
No way.
No, he would have.
That's why he's like kind of vampire around them, like give me, like they got going around. But I don't know why. It's crazy.
Oh my God, now she's going after the cursor on the screen. This cat, I tell you. Yeah, I don't. It's hard to figure. I mean, I guess maybe. They just wanted to do it 2 weeks away from release, maybe, and that was like just a tad too early. I don't know. Or maybe they wanted to put the trailer in their like Kickstarter first. Maybe that's where it showed up first, and then they like released it for everybody else like right away. And because they do seem like pretty serious about doing right by the Kickstarter. So I don't know. That's probably part of it.
Maybe ONL is not that big of a deal. Maybe it's just not that.
Yeah.
They were like, "Hey,"
they're like, "Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, we'll get back to you. We'll get back to you." And he just kept calling them, and they're like, "All right, you could say that we have a trailer a couple days later, I guess." Oh man, they big timed him. Oh shit.
Shit. Jeff, I would never big time you, brother.
I appreciate that. That's why you're my number one co-host. I've always said this.
I was talking about Chef Killer, but you can get it too.
Oh shit! All right, yeah. From David Arlene in let's see, it says 411 is my favorite band. 411 is my favorite. I'm happy for you, bud.
Let's go.
Snorlax, it says, "Hey Mike, bonus hole Minotti and Jeff redemption slot Grubb. Jeff, Ciel or Lune? Yeah, it'd be Lune. Choose. Is it Ciel? Is that how you say your name?
Yeah, Ciel. Yeah.
I think Ciel, but I'm still like, I have Monaco.
Yeah, Monaco.
Monaco.
Yeah.
I just got Monaco recently, and so I've had Ciel for a little bit now, but I'm still feel like I'm getting to know that character. So we'll see. But I think I lean towards Ciel at the moment. Lune might be a little bit too aloof for my tastes, but I still like all the characters in the game. I like them all.
Yeah, that's the thing about those characters. Like, there's no bad option.
Exactly.
They're just good.
Yep. All right. So let's see here. JD Camp. Mike news. Chi-Chi's starts construction in a few days. Hey, that's me news as well. I love Chi-Chi's. Christian, this was our very kitschy Mexican restaurant in the United States where you would go, and if it was your birthday, they would put a sombrero on you, and then they would come out and sing their own version of Happy Birthday, and they had fried ice cream and all this stuff. And then I can't remember why they closed. Was there some big health issue or something? And now they're back. Although you've always been able to get the salsa, the Chi-Chi salsa at the grocery store.
Let's go.
Yeah. So
I'm happy for you, buddy.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah. You know what? I was just listening to the news today on NPR, and there's this person that was like tracking. There's this person that like tracks food taste in America, and she like stated like definitively, America is now a spicy food country because the amount of.
Oh my God!
Yes, we did it. Like we are now like a real country. Spicy food is more popular than it's ever been in the United States, and in a lot of ways, it is like if you are going to announce a new novelty food item at your fast food restaurant, it's not going to get attention unless it's spicy. That's why like the spicy chicken craze was so wild a few years back. And I'm like, you know what? I guess I didn't think about it, but that definitely feels true at this point. So
I'm happy for your culture.
Thank you.
Are getting upgraded.
I love spicy food, and it's like, you know what? I'm gonna start being proud of this. This is a little something to take pride in, that we are a spicy food country. Zombie porn.
You have to be proud of something, yeah.
Exactly. Right. That nothing else is working for me. I'll take the spicy food though. That feels good. Zombie porn. So who takes the lead on the Spoon Heaven quick look? The day one true fan Dan Reichert or bandwagon fan Mitch? Oh, I think we have to defer to Dan on that for sure.
Yeah.
Without a doubt.
I'm so glad I'm so happy that Dan came to this world and deliver us.
Exactly.
Yeah, they love for this series that no one else ever talked about it before him. Thank you, Dan. You're the best.
All right, let's see. If the cat accidentally hits the outro button on the music on my Stream Deck, which she is biting right now, we're just all going to have to live with it, everybody. Taco Belmont says, much love to the Game S crew and families. We appreciate that, Taco Belmont. Chris Pratt is here. Mitch is a handsome Latino heartthrob? Question mark, question mark, question mark. You didn't know? Chris has never looked at Mike until now. Yeah. Stupid fucking heart.
Thank you, Chris.
Blade Runner in chat says, listening to the dump truck right now, and Mike brought up a fact about Marge. Mike's secretly a Gooner, right? If I didn't know if Grubb was older, Mike might have been in the running for Gooner Prime.
What's going on?
On the dump truck today, Marge came up, and they were talking about like the attractiveness level of like character voices. So they were like on that wavelength of, you know, attraction and character. And Dan mentioned Marge, and Mike immediately pointed out that Marge was in an issue of Playboy, drawn by the artist of the show, where you could see her nipples and everything. And he just like kind of went on about it for about 2 minutes. And everyone was like, you kind of brought that up out of nowhere. Now, I don't think he brought it up out of nowhere, but it was fast. He did bring it up pretty fast and without a lot of prompting.
Got it loading in.
It was at the top of mind, apparently. Maybe always.
Well, hey, I'm not going to yuck his jump, you know? Just do what you want to do, brother.
This cat is attacking you, Christian. I'm sorry. I keep bringing up my cat. The audio listeners can't see, but she literally just stood up on her hind legs to reach you on the top monitor. I
do like a demon. So
yes, exactly. And the cats are defenders of the demon underworld, so that makes a lot of sense.
Yes,
JL Anaps says, the show must go on. Thank you, homies. Now, thank you, everybody, for hanging in there with us while we figure things out. And thanks again to Christian for stepping in. Burrito says, for the cryptic Christian cameo. Yeah, you do look a little bit like a cryptid. Like, yeah.
I look you know, in those games where like there, you know how the movie War of the World is, you know, it's just a screen. You know those games where you find footage and that shit. I look like that. Like
yeah, exactly.
I look like you need to get the data for the aliens to eat.
Yeah, you look like you've been compressed to fit on a CD. Yes, absolutely.
There you go.
We should do every show like that. Okay, I tried to scroll down, but YouTube sucks so bad it just went to the very bottom. All right, Ratmandu says, Mike had to seek medical attention for his Hollow Knight verticality. Just like the Viagra warning, it lasted longer than 4 hours. Yeah, that is a big problem with our boy. Blade Runner is back here. Why Christian looking like Dabura from Dragon Ball Z? Did I say that name wrong?
Yeah. I think you said her. Yeah, I think it's Deborah. But I don't know. I don't know the pronunciation. The thing is, I'm Latino.
Yes. Shit. Wait, what?
The thing is, we say the names. We have different names for the characters. We don't say the same name. So I sometimes I feel like, oh, how did the English said this name? So I never know. Like you were saying, Chi-Chi's earlier. Chi-Chi is the name of Goku's wife.
No, yeah. Chi-Chi is the name of Goku's wife for us. Exactly.
Yeah. But in Spanish, it's milk. I don't know why.
Huh. Okay.
Weird, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm thinking. Yeah, that's correct. That sound effect is exactly where my thought process went. All right, let's keep going here. Blade Runner has another one. Christian Product Red trademark. All right, yeah. Christian Code Red. Mountain Dew Christian Code Red. That's what we're dealing with right now. T Bucket says, wow, Christian is so hot he looks like he's streaming from the sun.
Stop it. I am streaming from.
Chris Pratt is back. Nice X, the everything app hat, Jeff. I should ask my buddy Elon if he can get more merch for you. Oh, Chris, you don't have to do that. And it's two lightsabers in a crisscross formation. So no. Oh, darn you, Chris Pratt.
I know what you wrote about him, so.
You know what? We're not supposed to talk about that. That's the one rule on this show.
Oh, shit. I'm sorry.
Antonio Morales says, just want to say I like Argentina Mitch. You should let him host more often. P. Ness. I mean, stuff just needs to happen to Mike more often. That's all. And I think that's going to happen.
Oh, yeah.
So, there we go. Alex Agogo, question for Christian. Have you had a chance to try Lucy or the new GG patch, assuming it's been released to your home on the surface of the sun?
Yes. I mean, yes. this is the thing that got me happy, because I've been trying to get back into GG Strive, as we call it, and I just couldn't, because I don't know, it's just the patches didn't, like, the state of the game wasn't fun for me. But now this patch is cool. They added Lucy from Cyberpunk Edge Runner, and she fucking rules. She's so much fun. She's like super easy to get, because it's a guest character. Guest character usually are like easy to play, because they want the people
who are fans of that character to come in there and play it, right?
Yeah. So she's really fun. She's like easy to play. She looks cool as fuck, like every Guilty Gear Stripe character. But also what's cool, in this patch, they added a new rank system, which is just a rank system. In the olden time, you had to load into the tower, which is like a physical place. You had to load in. You got to go to a fucking station, sit on that station, and wait for another motherfucker on that same tower.
These games love doing that shit.
Fight you. That's Arxis. Like,
yes.
I don't know why. It's crazy. So now that you can use that, but fuck that shit. You can choose, like, press a button that says play ranked. Boom. Big ass fucking button there on the main menu. Go there, go to the training thing, wait for your fight, and you choose playing. So it's so much fun. I love Guilty Gear Strive. It's just, I don't know.
You kind of came in here earlier, and you were kind of floating about that game. So yeah, you seem to be legitimately into it. I'm happy for you.
And it makes me even more excited for Marvel TalkCon, because it's just the same people, a lot of same DNA, like stuff. So really happy.
Hey
really,
Christian,
really happy.
how's Lucy's super work with the menu? I haven't seen it yet.
She has a super where she hacks you. She like, you do I think it's cortical forward back. No, it's cortical forward back and forward, whatever input it is. You just do that, and she like dashes in front of you, and she pulls out like a computer type shit, and then a menu comes in, and you have different options for different hacks. And she hacks
you get to choose what they are.
You get to choose what they are. You have like a bar.
Yeah, Jeff, did you see this at all? Like when Evo happened? So it's so cool. Like Lucy looks awesome because she's anime, like in the anime. But this was a moment where like the entire audience popped off in in the arena for Final Sunday. When Lucy does a super to you, the Cyberpunk, like the video game menu pops up.
Oh,
like it
cool.
looks just like in the game, and she gets to choose like what debuffs to put on you from like the hacking menu. And everyone just like lost their shit when that happened.
That's really so neat. Cool. That's fun. I mean,
it's a great idea.
Yeah, that's the kind of thing where it's like exactly what you want from a guest character, right? To like actually bring in the full personality of not just their character but the game that they're from. That's neat. It reminds me a little bit of like Steve Minecraft Steve. Yeah. In Smash.
Yeah. I watched a little of a Smash tournament, and like, unfortunately, he kills high level play, but it is so cool that they just like, Steve is in there and just like crafting blocks and stuff.
Exactly.
It's cool when guest characters are handled right. Yeah.
Yep.
And the intro is her on Cyberpunk. The intro of when she's like entering the fight, the intro is her on the Cyberpunk universe, and she hacks the intro for Guilty Gear Strive, and then she jumps into the world, and it looks so cool.
Yeah, it's like the world of Guilty Gear is like happening in her mind, apparently. It's what her intro is. It's really funny.
That's really neat. All right, let's see here. From Zombie Porin, I remember when Jeff had the nicest hair on the game mess. Now both Sean and Christian have him beat. You're killing it, Christian. Look, I'm an old man now. It grows slow. It's time for new blood, and they're here. And
you kind of can see it, but my red. I dye my hair because I'm 34, and
so that's legit, like red.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. It's hard to tell because the camera, but that looks really neat.
The camera's fine. Yeah, I need a haircut.
Yeah, you me both.
Maybe get a new color.
Michael R. O'Leary says, we hear you accidentally hit the intro song on Game Mess Mornings a million times. What's hearing the outro because of the cat now and then? Yeah, good point, Mike. I think that if we hear that, that's going to be just fine. When I was producing that show, I think I did that like once a week at least. Blade Runner says, Christian looking like I just took Lucy. And now I think that might be referring to LSD, actually. It does look like that.
Drugs, in the sky with diamonds, that kind of deal.
And then RDX, son of a fat. That's an old timer there. Hey, glad to see you're back.
Oh, yeah.
No pre-order from Xbox ROG Ally X. So disappointing. Is that saying that there are no pre-orders, or that they're not pre-ordering because they're so disappointed? It's hard to tell, son of a fet. But Either way, I thought pre-orders did go up. So, oh wait, no, because we didn't know the price, so pre-orders must not be up. The price leaked.
What's the price again?
It's like $900, I think, for the X.
Ugh.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Big number.
Yeah.
This one just came in. James Bidwell Ganane says, "How about having Dan play Gollum for Blight Club?" Listen. That is definitely one that is in my pocket. That game's just a tad long, though. So that's
it's still new, isn't it?
It's not newness is not necessarily a problem for Blight Club. It just has to be bad.
Okay.
But we have not done very many newer games. You're right. I think the big part of that is the newer bad games are not as well known because, like Angry Video Game Nerd hasn't done videos about them. That's how most of these bad games got their reputation in the first place. But I think what I'll do is I'll save Gollum for Mike or Dan in retaliation the next time they give me like a 35-hour game. So, yeah, that's in the chamber for sure.
I love that shit.
Oh, yeah, that's most of Blight Club. Absolutely. How long to beat has it at 14 hours? Yeah, that's just a touch on the longer side. So, like, we're, 7 episodes? We've definitely done a bunch of seasons like that before. But yeah, too long does seem like a Dan problem. That's not. I'll tell you what, Gollum's not up next.
Don't forget Daikatana. Don't forget what they did to you, Jeff.
I know, but I don't like. It's clear right now that they've begun to feel bad about that. So my recent games haven't been that, and I don't want to like.
This is like Dan 7.0. Don't fall for it.
No, I know. I just don't want to spoil it until like it's got to be tit for tat. It's got to be tit for tat. I didn't do it right away, so the next time I get a tat, I'll come back with that tat, and then we'll go.
That was a clean
revenge is better served cold,
Uh-huh. Yeah. All right. That does it for Super Chats. I think what we'll do now is we'll take a break. We'll come back, talk about what we've been playing. We're going to save the game for next week for when Mike's back, and then we'll take it from there. We'll be right back. All right.
Break.
Hit the button.
Press that break button really hard.
Dan deserves a preemptive strike. All right. I don't know how Dan's going to feel about his next one that he's going to be playing. We'll see. It's still a ways away because Mike's up first.
Are both of them the ones that you ran by me that one time?
I'm pretty sure. Yes. Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. There's still time to like shift things up for Dan's. I'm like going back and forth about like there's a couple other ones, but this one is neither of them would pick this game. They don't know about it, so I'm like I'll just do it now because it's also in that so bad it's good theme that I think we should go for this season because that's kind of what we're going to do to Mike. And
I think they're both good picks because Mike's is like just perfect.
We have to do Mike's, right?
Yeah.
So yeah,
absolutely. Yeah. And then Dan's is like, okay, this will be interesting. Let's see how this one goes.
Exactly. I kind of want to like
some good ones
because I played it a little bit just to see what it was like, and I kind of want to like watch someone else play it and see how other people feel about it. Okay. Just talk about some games. We'll just wrap up early tonight. Again, does that sound good? All right.
That's perfect.
Let's bring it back.
I didn't play any other game other than Lucy.
Okay. So, yeah, and I haven't played much, but I'll talk about a couple things.
All right.
All right, we are back. As I've said early on, Mike had to run out, so we're not going to do our plan for tonight, which is we were going to do a draft of Metal Gear Solid, where like we've done recently, where we pick the different aspects of the game and piece it together. The game will be out next week, Delta, so we'll just do it next week. In the meantime, then we're going to do a slightly shorter episode, talk about what we've been playing. Christian, you said nothing else other than Lucy and Strive.
Yeah, it's Street Fighter as always. It's just been playing that. Getting Saga to Masters. I didn't have too much time to play, so it's not in Master yet. I know I'm a fucking scrub. But yeah, only that and I played the demo for Endless Legends 2, which is a 4X.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. What'd you think of it?
I really like this demo. It's the thing. It's a 4X, but it's like old fantasy. It's not real world stuff. So it's on the endless space universe.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure this is.
And the space is the sci-fi one, and this is the fantasy one.
Yeah, it's all the same races and everything, but one is in space is the sci-fi.
It's a Warhammer-like. Okay.
Yes, kind of like that. Yeah, it's like the Endless Legends is like the prequel to that because they're on like confined to this planet. It's before they go to the space. So. It is pretty fun. I like this more than I like Civ because in this game, the thing about Civ is there's a point where it kind of becomes kind of boring, like in the middle, because there's not a lot of stuff to do. You're kind of waiting for stuff to like kick in. building stuff, but it's not. Oh, this game doesn't have that. It's kind of more like progressively. It gets more and more busy because you have to deal with a bunch of stuff at the same time. You building districts all the time. Unlike in Civ, you don't build that much stuff. You should in this one you constantly building district, expanding the world. So and this one is a sequel to that. It's just more like redefined, defined, more like, oh, you do this building here, and if it's like beside like a river, I think you get this extra stuff, and it's that but to the maximum, because like, oh, if it's beside this type of like tundra or whatever, you get X, and if it's on top of this other stuff, you get the other stuff. So it's pretty cool. It's pretty fun. It makes you think where you want to place all your stuff, and I don't know. It's cool. I like it more than Civ just for that, and the just real world stuff is kind of boring for me nowadays. It's just like the real world sucks, and anything that can push me away from it a little bit, it's just very welcome to me. So yeah, I'll people should check it. It's cool. It's just a demo. The game is out in a couple of months, so
yeah,
go try it out.
I've always meant to try out this or Endless Space. And I do love 4X games. I've loved Civ in the past. So maybe this is the one I should check out. Based on that recommendation, at least I'll consider it for sure. I lied. I said we weren't going to do a game. I have a quick one real quick. Mount Rushmore of Game Mess host, as recommended by someone in the chat. I lost it real quick.
Let's go.
I'm just going to throw one out there real quick. Mount Rushmore of Game Mess host, Christian, Sean, AJ, and me. What do you think about that?
Put finale on top.
Okay.
Get ready to Grubb.
Okay, perfect. Yes. All right, let's see here. Let me where did I put this?
That's a good change. I like that.
Okay.
I like that.
Let me get in there right here.
I love Jason. Love you, Jason, my boy.
Let's move everybody down.
Yeah.
And then put Jason
there you go.
Finelli. Yep. Okay.
Perfect.
All right, cool.
Listen.
So the Mount Rushmore of Game Mess host is Jason Finelli, Christian, Sean, and AJ.
Oh, yeah.
There we go. I'm going to blue sky that real quick. There we go. Perfect. All right. I've been playing a couple of things. I started Sword of the Sea. That name is just generic enough that I'm going to struggle to remember it for the rest of my life. But I believe that's the name. That's the new one from Giant Squid, which is a team that is an offshoot of the people that made Journey. It is, I think, immediately a lot of fun. It is a game similar to Journey. You are exploring a big open space, or kind of an openish space, and you do that by riding on your floating sword like it is a surfboard or a snowboard. And they lean into the fact that this is under its all the beauty of the game. It is beautiful under all the artistic atmosphere. It has all that in spades. It is an extreme sports game. It has you press A once to jump. And then if you hold down A, you can prime sort of your ollie. And if you time it right, you kind of do a cool little trick as you jump. And then in the air, at the height, the zenith of your jump, you can hit A again to do a little bit of a double jump. And then as you're kind of coming down from that, you're floating down from that double jump. If you wait a beat and you hit A again, you sort of do a trick as you're falling down. And it just feels really good. The key thing to any game where you are riding on a plank of wood or a sword like this or a surfboard, whatever it is the game needs to understand that the center of gravity is not on the board. When I was playing 1080 Avalanche on the GameCube recently, and I still want to do that video where I talk about why that game is so bad, but spoiler, the gist of it is the game and the people making that game completely misunderstand where the center of gravity should be on a body when they're standing on a snowboard. It's pretty high. It's up kind of in your hips, in your gut region, and you gotta have to move the board and move everything from there. And this game gets that exactly right. So the characters shifting their weight and throwing their legs out and kind of pushing against the ground, even though against a floating sword, but they're pushing it against the ground to sort of move themselves to the left and then sort of digging their toes in to move to the right. And it all looks right and feels right. And that's hugely important to kind of conveying the sense of control that you want to have on a board game like this. So, I'm into it. I've not played enough of it to really understand the structure, but Dan was like, hey, when I was playing it and moving the character around, I thought of you. And yeah, he was right. This is exactly in my wheelhouse in terms of the movement and the motion. So I've heard nothing but good things about it. People seem to really like it. I'm gonna keep playing it and checking it out.
Yeah, Looks awesome. Yeah.
I think I think people are going to be into it. Yeah, what do you think?
It's the you hear developers talk like about how a lot of these type of games are like the feeling of it and how much time they spend. Like they spend most of the time trying to achieve that good feeling, either this game or like a platformer like the Shump and that kind of stuff. So it's kind of cool that they nailed that for sure, because other looks, if the game can look awesome, but if it's this type of game and it doesn't control very well, it will wear his welcome really fast.
Exactly.
Sure.
Yeah. And even if it
for sure.
even if it feels a little bit off, right? Because the closer you get to something like feeling right, the harder it is, because it's like, oh, I know what this should feel like, as opposed to, oh, this game's going through a bunch of layers of abstraction and just kind of doing its own thing. It's like, no, this game's trying to make it feel right, like riding on a snowboard or whatever. Again, it's a sword, but and so, like, the fact that they did nail it shows that they put a lot of work into that. And I think that's key to probably making a game like this stand up to long play sessions like you're talking about. And then today on Giant Bomb, we played Abyssus, which is a new roguelite cooperative shooter. I go for shorthand on these things. This is clearly a game inspired by Hades, same structure as Hades. You're going to get upgrades, and the upgrades exist in sort of like the way that the gods happen in Hades, where like they exist in certain categories. Like I got the one where I had a sea creature coming out of the ground and throwing rocks based on like a certain upgrade build that I was going down. And I like that game a lot. I think they got the shooting right. I think the dashing feels good. I think sort of the combat scenarios that you're in, and it's again very similar to Hades, where you're going through the each area in order, so you're going to face the same boss a bunch of times. I unlocked the shotgun pretty early, and the shotgun feels fantastic, which is, okay, you're going to have a shooter. The shotgun better feel good, but it's also like, it is very much Hades. And so moving around, dodging the iframes, kind of understanding the enemies, having a very set, like sort of command structure where they will do a certain kind of attack in a certain way that's very predictable. So you know what to do and how to handle each situation after you learn it, because it's a roguelite and you're going to do it a bunch of times in a row. All that stuff was working. It's people that clearly understand the genre making this game. And, it's one where it's like, I hope we can find time to play it again, because I was really into it. I'm not sure like how it would hold up on like playing it by myself, which I guess is definitely something I would want for a game like this, because if I'm going to really get into the loop of upgrading my character and there's permanent unlocks and things like that, you can obviously do that playing with friends. But the way my schedule works, it's probably something I would want to like run that a little bit on the side, and then we come together later and play. So I'm going to try that. But based on what we had happen on Giant Bomb today with that game, it's definitely one at like $25. I think it's a pretty easy reco for people who are looking for one of these that they can play with friends. I think we are.
You can play forever, yeah.
Yes, we're clearly in the wake of Hades right now, right? Where like so many developers played that game, loved it, and now are making their own version of that.
Inspire, yeah.
Yes, and I'm 100% a fan of that. So more of this, please.
Yeah. It's how is the structure? Because I watched your stream a little bit. I was like here, but I was doing some work and I couldn't watch it. Is it like it's like an open map, or you had to go from a point to another point and do the run, or it's just an open world type deal?
So not open world, it's room after room, and there's not even, at least so far, there is not even like, oh, okay, you finished the battle in this room, you defeated all the enemies, or you did the small little puzzle that you had to do. And the puzzles are actually a little bit like a Destiny raid or something like that, where, hey, everyone needs to stand on these plates on the ground.
Type deal.
Yes, while you're fighting the enemies to be able to unlock the room. So you complete that. When the room is done, the door opens, and there's only one door to go through, or there's the previous door that you came from, which I think they'll let you go back, and there's like things back that you might have missed, or maybe you got a key, you can go back and unlock a chest that you previously couldn't open. I believe it works that way, but it's not like you're even choosing to go left or right like in Hades. So like it's even more simple than that. It's just one battle room after another. And so far, it's been kind of exactly the same. But I think we're just still in the first like world. Like we have, there's 4 depths to the first world that we're in. We got to the end of the 4th, but we didn't beat it. So I don't know if there's something beyond that, but I really think there is. And I bet it gets more complicated after that, but I don't know for sure.
Yeah. Sounds cool. It reminds me of I was playing earlier this month, Killing Floor 3, and how disappointed about that game that was. And I was like, oh, maybe they should do something kind of like this nowadays, because the being a shooter and like having abilities and that kind of stuff just doesn't. It's just not enough anymore. You had to put another layer on top of that. So definitely gonna check this out for sure.
All right. Let's see if there's anything else that I've played. Not really. I installed Herdling, which just came out. I'm gonna try that. It's really just been Expedition 33 when I have time. Playing quite a bit of that. And yeah, talked about it already, but I'll just reiterate. I get it. I fully understand why people love the game. I think it's I keep going back to playable, and by that it's like, obviously it's a game, you can play it, but what I mean is like it's sticky. When I'm playing it, it gives me all of the incentive to keep playing it, to get to the next thing, get to the next battle, get to the next point in the story, to find the next character, to get the next upgrade. All that stuff is just hanging all around you and very obvious. And like, it goes even like more granular than that. It's, I recently got this new character. I'm getting the hang of how they work, and I can't wait to get into the next fight so that I can try these ideas out that I've come up with for this character and see how they intermingle with the other characters in the party now that I have a better understanding. And then you go do that, and you get an even better understanding. And sometimes it's like, oh, I've learned this new idea about a character I've had for a while now. So it's just like all up and down, left and right. The game has thought about what makes this whole thing tick, and they fully understand it and kind of execute it in an expert way.
Yeah,
I'm just
systems perfectly interconnected for sure. Yeah, it works. Yeah, and sorry, I got distracted by the super chat.
Yeah, me too. It's fun.
Yeah, I was about to say, yeah, Monoko. You're talking about Monoko. I feel bad because I never stick with him, and I feel I wish I did, because he gets. It seems a little bit underwhelming. For the people that doesn't know, Monoko is the blue mage of the party.
Is that the thing there? Because I was like, is it like a Pokemon trainer or something like that? To me, what I think of is the Castlevania, the card system, and you defeat an enemy, and then you get their card. That's where my brain went. But that clearly there's an RPG equivalent.
No, it's the blue mage for Final Fantasy, where you defeat a monster and you gain one of its abilities. Okay. So yeah, it's definitely. And at the beginning, you don't have that many abilities, so he gets more interesting the more you play with him. But he has to be on your party, and he has to be the one. He has to be active in your party.
He has to be active in your party to get the foot. And
get the foot,
yeah, which is the card.
That's what gives me, what we give him in the ability. So I kind of feel bad about Monoko not shining on any of my playthroughs. So I think on my next one, I'm definitely gonna try to get him all the abilities, because he seems like a fun time for sure.
Yeah, people talked up Monoko so much that I was like, I'm gonna try this. So Monoko's in the party a lot right now, although I'm at a point where the parties have split up a little bit. But when I get back, I'm like, I'm going to stick with Monoko. So I want to see if I can really make that work. But we'll see how long that lasts. I like all the characters. And, going back to the fundamental base point of this game of each character plays different. What a good idea. What a good idea for an RPG. I'm sure that's been done before, but it's done really well here. And they really kind of thought about those systems. So just really impressed with everything they've done. Yeah. All right. I think that does it. I talked about beating Ragebound last week. You know what? I did play a little bit of Bubsy 3D, and in the Bubsy in the Perfect Collection, and the refurbished edition does actually kind of make that game feel like it probably should have felt from the beginning, had they played Mario 64 with enough time to make changes. It's still not good, but it's playable.
All right. Well, yeah, everything is playable.
Exactly. Yes. Yeah. Look, I beat Bubsy 3D, so obviously that was playable.
Is there any reference to Ben Esposito in that collection anywhere? Because
I've not seen it yet.
I know about Bubsy because of him, because he's the dumb side is pretty good. So I hope there is some a little bit reference to the Donut County guy for sure.
I'll go through all the supplemental materials and see if he pops up anywhere.
Please,
we'll see.
He deserves it.
All right. I think what we should do now is clean up any extra super chats that we got. Let me get over there right now. There we go. I don't think we got a ton more. Yeah. We just got the one more from Jason Finelli. checks in the super chat, boys. Yeah, listen, Jason, of course, you were going to win that no matter what, but we do appreciate the payola there. All right, cool. Christian, I think we should probably wrap the show up. Anything else that we should touch on before we get out of here?
Now that I can think of, is there any community stuff going on? I didn't check the events, so
yeah, I'm not sure.
Maybe there is. Let me see. Nothing going on. Probably the weekly. They play some games, so check They either play Mario Kart or they play what's the Marvel Rival? I was about to say what's the Gunner game. That's every game nowadays.
That's every game nowadays. Yeah.
Yeah, Marvel Rival. So check the community for there's something going on for sure.
Wait, we can go back to this other camera there. There we go. Yeah, okay. Well, you know what? You can find out what's going on in the community by joining the Discord by going to giantbomb.com. Go to patreon.com/GameS. But if you're going to go there, you might as well go to giantbomb.com as well. Yeah. We're in both places. All right. Let's see. I know Mike's got a new episode of 90s Disney that they recorded a few days ago. I actually listened to it because they were talking about they call it moderate resorts, but like mid-tier resorts, I think. I stayed at one of those, so I was curious to hear what their opinion on it was. And I tended to agree. I think the
center-left ones.
Yes, the center-left, right, exactly. They believe in capitalism still, these resorts, and of course they do. I don't know. It was a good listen. I don't know how much anyone else is going to care, but that show's always good, so people should go check it out. And then in the meantime, we'll be back with Last of the Nintendogs on Tuesday. This show will be back next Thursday. We'll do that game next week. And then in the meantime, Giant Bomb is still where you can find us during the day. I will be over there tomorrow, I think. So I dropped the kids off. I was testing it out this morning, Christian. I dropped the kids off, and I get back home around 8:30. And so I'm like, I'm up, I'm at it already. Oh my God, I'm hitting buttons on my keyboard with my foot, or my knee. I tested out. I think I'm going to do some Skies of Arcadia at 9 a.m. tomorrow. So like I did, I did that like 2 weeks ago. So I might do that again, 45 minutes to an hour. Just check in, see if we can get a little bit more progress in that game. I want to see, I think I want to see about 10 hours of it. And then we'll decide at that point if we stick with it. So
yeah, sounds like a nice amount, like a nice portion of the game to see.
Exactly.
You're going to get in.
We could do that over the, next handful of weeks or whatever, next, 2 months or so. Check in on it once a week, something like that. So that's the plan. And then, Game S mornings, and then we'll have UPF on Friday. That's going to be Chibi Robo and Bubsy 3D. All right, everybody. Thanks for listening. Christian, thank you so much. Sean, thank you.
Thank you.
Everyone, we'll see you next time. Until then, have a good one. Take care of yourself, and goodbye.
Caw. I am an animal.
Oh, that's right. Get your last minute votes in for the Bomb 12.
Over $200 billion.
I want to play that one.
All right, Jeff. Let's do each other here.
Okay.
Bonus hole is hot now.